your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today I'm just going to be going over top 5 anticipated Genshin characters people are waiting for. That's it, that's basically the video. By the way, if you happen to like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Number 5 is going to be Varka. Varka is the current Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, and his title as a knight is the Knight of Boreas. He is currently leading an expedition, and we don't know when he'll be back. Few things that we know about Varka is that he's probably one of the strongest characters lore-wise in Mondstadt. Tartaglia Child basically remarks that he wants to fight Varka because Varka is a worthy opponent. Child also calls him the Titan. Barbara exclaims that there's nothing to worry about with Varka leading the expedition since Varka is very strong. Eula herself had a spar with Varka and she suspects that he's been holding back. Varka also brought Rosaria to Mondstadt so Rosaria can redeem herself since she was a former bandit. Varka can also be considered a father and master to Razor since he basically taught Razor what he knows. It is suspected that Varka could either be Cryo or Anemo since his title, the Knight of Boreas. In Greek mythology, I think Boreas was considered like the god of storms. Also in Genshin Impact, there is that big wolf Andreas who is also called Lupus Boreas and he controls ice or Cryo. When Varka will show up in Genshin Impact, God only knows. However, we do know that he is currently in Natlan due to the last Mondstadt event. So I'm just going to go by a limb and say that he'll most likely appear in Natlan and will probably play a major role in Natlan. Since he does seem to be a pretty important character, I don't think Hoyoverse is just going to, let him be a side character. Number 4, we got Cloud Retainer. Now, we've known Cloud Retainer for quite a long ass time now. In fact, we've known her since the very beginning of the game. By the time you get to Leeway and do the story quest, we kind of meet her along the way. We've only seen Cloud Retainer in her Adeptus animal form, which is the crane. But in a recent Leeway event, we basically got a glimpse of her human form and she looks kind of hot. I remember way back in the day when Shenhe was first leaked, people thought that that was Cloud Retainer's human form, but alas, it just turned out to be Cloud Retainer's student. Anyways, I don't see why she wouldn't be playable since she is currently alive and breathing. In fact, I don't even know why they're taking so long to make her playable. I feel like they'd make a shit ton of money if they made her playable. And she's been in the game since the very beginning, so you'd think that they'd make her be playable by now, but I guess not. Anyways, to her element, I can maybe only speculate she'll either be Cryo since both of her students are Cryo, Ganyu and Shenhe, but I can also see her being Anemo as well. I mean, she kind of has that weird Anemo aesthetics, I don't know. Adeptus form is a bird, so Anemo, would fit her. Anyways, I can see her being playable in the next Lantern Rite event. That's the only way I can really see her ever being playable, especially since she is a Leeway character. I can't see any time else where they'll just make her playable. Number 3, we got Alice. Alice is currently the elder of this magic witch group called the Hexen Circle. Sorry if I mispronounced it. She's also the mother of Klee. We've known about Alice since the very first summer event. However, we've never really seen her true form or appearance. We've only heard her voice, and that's basically it. She kind of reminds me of the dad from Earthbound. You've never seen the dad of Earthbound, but by the end of the credits, instead of showing his sprite, they basically show the telephone instead. And we've only ever heard Alice's voice through like a conch phone or something. Anyways, she seems to be a pretty important character since she's the elder of this magical witch group. And she also knew about Traveler and Paimon even though she's never even met them in person. So she seems to be the type of character that's omnipresent or something. She basically knows everything even though she shouldn't really know everything. So she seems kind of OP already lore-wise. There is a theory that she is a descender. I don't really know too much about the theory. Alice did introduce the concept of idols to Teyvat since Teyvat didn't really know about idols until Alice introduced them to it. That is how Barbara became an idol in Mondstadt to begin with. Alice also introduced the concept of copyright laws in Teyvat from an albedo event, I believe. I don't remember too much of the details. Alice isn't only just a elder of some magic group, she also happens to be an adventurer. Anyways, whenever Alice will be playable, I have no fucking idea. We've known her for a long ass time now. It's really like up in the air whenever she'll be playable. It would be funny if Alice came out and her kit basically revolved around buffing Klee. That would be like the funniest shit ever. She's been hyped for a long time and her kit is basically just a Klee buff. Anyways, number 2, we got Asmodee. Now, I don't know if that's her true name or not of this unknown god. I do believe this name came from like a Chinese data miner and they basically found out that the unknown god's name is Asmodee. Anyways, Asmodee appeared in the very beginning of the game, basically fucking with the travelers. She bears a resemblance to Qiyana, so I can't see her not being playable since Qiyana is basically Dawei's baby. Qiyana was basically in the very first HoYoverse game, which was, I think it was called Fly Me to the Moon. So I just cannot see her not being like unplayable. I think she will be playable one day. When will that day come? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if Celestia is going to be like a secret region or something that we go to. I assume it will be. Celestia could even be just like a mini region or something, or maybe just like a big base. I don't know. I think her element might be Pyro since the red cubes that she summons is kind of similar to the Pyro cube. And in Genshin Impact, Qiyana's ultimate form is a fire type character. So the unknown god being Pyro wouldn't be that far-fetched. Anyways, last but not least, number 1. Before we get to number 1, if you've gotten this far into this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, number 1 on this list I will put is Arlecchino, Fatui Harbinger that we've known for quite a while now. In that Fatui trailer, she was basically like the thumbnail of that trailer that received a shit ton of views. And I think people really like this character. People really like her aesthetics. People probably like her voice. And I don't really blame them. Her aesthetics look pretty damn good. Anyways, when it comes to leaks about Arlecchino, they've been kind of up and down. I've seen leaks about her not being unplayable and her dying, but it's most likely that she will be playable. I also heard rumors that she might be a polearm user, and she will most likely wield the Pyro element since we have seen it's either a vision or a delusion on her that looks like a Pyro one. Her character to this day is still kind of an enigma. We haven't met her yet, but from the words of her other 2 fellow Fatui Harbingers, it is stated that she might be a wolf in sheep's clothing and that she is batshit crazy since she is willing to betray the Tsaritsa. We know that she has an orphanage, and Linny and Lynette were a part of that orphanage. From the words of Linny, she apparently wants to save Fontaine from the prophecy of the citizens drowning. However, she could just be using this as a way to further her ambitions. Since she is Fontainian, she will most likely come out sometime in a Fontaine patch. It is rumored that Fontaine will end in 4.6, I believe. That is only a rumor, so she will most likely come out before 4.6 or maybe even at 4.6. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think. What character are you waiting for? Is that character on this list? Yes, I know I missed characters like Sandro and Columbina, but I don't want to put other Harbingers on this list because I think that'd be kind of cheating. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.